y'all, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for coming back to check out my video. In this video, I'm gonna show you all how I achieved this highlighted look. So if you're interested, please keep on watching. So the first thing that I'm going to do is start detangling the hair with my wig brush, and then I'm going to start getting ready to lift the hair. And to lift the hair, I used Salon Care Quick White Bleach Powder, and I also used just some random 40 volume developers that I had in my drawer. And then I'm just using this random kit that I got from the hair store that included most everything you need to bleach your hair. So whenever I bleach my hair, I usually use a scoop, but for the most part I still eyeball it. But I just pour in my developer, and usually I'll use the scoop, swoop it out to a specific amount. But since this was just a bag and there was no scoop included, I just poured and stirred until I got to the consistency that I wanted. So in order to get your highlights, you're either going to take a rat tail comb or the clean end of the brush that you use to dye your hair with, and you're going to weave in and out of the whole row of hair. So as you can see, I'm just going up, down, and that's separating that one row of hair into two parts. And then once I get to the end, I just separate, and we're actually going to be lifting that top layer of hair. So make sure you have gloves when you're lifting your hair, and like using the bleach, you should also use them when you're dyeing the hair too, but especially bleaching, just because it can get on your skin and you can it can react very badly. Also, disclaimer, I have a big hole in my pocket. Don't worry about that, okay? Focus on what you're here for, and that is to learn how to get highlights in your hair, not to worry about the hole in my pocket. Thank you. So really this part is nothing specific or fantastic or anything hard to do. You're literally just coating the strands of hair with the bleach mixture and making sure that you get all of the hair bleached. Like really work it through, look at the hair, pull it apart, because you want to make sure that the whole thing is bleached. And then to process, I wrap it up in foil. On the beat. So I ended up running really low on the mixture that I had, so I just mixed up some more of the bleach mixture. This isn't anything new, it's just that I used a small bottle of developer because I didn't want to buy a whole nother one because I knew I had two small ones. So that's all I'm doing here. On So I just wanted to add that you can have as many or as little highlights as you wanted. I tried to keep my sections the same size so that you know, my highlighted sections could be, you know, kind of even throughout my whole wig. And also just make sure that when you are applying the bleach mixture to the hair, make sure that you kind of like fade, and to do that you can turn your brush vertically and just brush through the top of the hair so you don't have like a big chunk or line. I kind of noticed that in some spots. So while I was applying the mixture, I was kind of messy, and I did let some bleach kind of like fall onto other parts of the hair that weren't getting bleached. So just to kind of make sure that it didn't have like this big line of demarcation, I just brushed it through with my wig brush. So I don't have any idea how long I let this sit on my hair. I'm so sorry to let y'all know. When I do hair, I'm really just like an eyeball person. I look and check and make sure. And really I started taking off the foil because the bottom had been processing for so long that I didn't want it to be like really tangled and matted, and even on the top isn't as lifted. I went ahead to rinse it out. So before you start to tone, you want to make sure that your hair is towel dried. And instead of the 40 volume, I use 20 volume developer, and then I use two different types of Wella tea toner. I will leave them in the description box because I really thought that you could see which ones they were, but you couldn't. But I mixed them in two different bowls. So I believe this bowl is the pale ash blonde, and the black bowl that I mixed together is going to be the pale beige blonde. Also, make sure you are measuring the correct proportions to mix the toner and the developer, because if you mix too much or too little, it's not going to actually tone your hair to the color that you want. So I have recorded this specific section like 5 times now. So this is the last one. Y'all gonna get it how y'all get it. I did not. This is so funny. Okay, y'all, for real. I'm being serious. This is serious time. No time for playing. I did not know specifically where I was gonna place whichever color toner. So this clear brush, this is the pale ash blonde, and I would just like switch off every other section. So if this one is pale ash blonde, the next one is going to be the pale beige blonde. And you can go over your hair, your darker hair that isn't blonde. It's not going to tone it or anything, and it's not going to lift it, just because this is 20 volume developer. So it's not really going to have that much effect on your black hair or your naturally colored hair, but it is going to lift the blonde. So yeah, just keep going in. I done got tired now. Ooh, Lord. All right, y'all see what I'm doing, okay? Do as I say and do as I do, because I'm actually doing right this time in this video. All right, I'm done talking. Sorry. Oh, and just a little note, pro tip. You can go in after you finish with one section, just kind of like twist it off to the side, so you know that you've actually done that section already, because this doesn't show up as a color, so you really wouldn't be able to tell what you did. Well, it kind of does show up as a color. It kind of like turns like a grayish, milky, not milky, I don't know. I guess it does show up as a color though, but it's still not anything for you to just be like notice. So just make sure you do something to let yourself know that you've already done that section. So now that we're finally done with all the color application, we're just going to rinse out the hair. And the first product that I'm going to use on the weave is my Shimmer Lights Clairol Color Correcting Shampoo. So after making sure that the hair is thoroughly washed, I'm going to go in with the first treatment, which is the 2-step Applicator protein treatment. And this is the first step, which is just like a liquid. And I apply that to all the hair in the wig. And you're supposed to really sit under the dryer. Like if I was doing this on a human head, you sit under the dryer and let it get hardened. But I just kind of blow dried it a little bit to, I guess, kind of activate whatever needs to be activated in the treatment, and then I rinse that out. So after rinsing out that first part of the protein treatment, we're going to go straight into the second part, which is the balancing moisturizer. And you just make sure that your hair is towel dried, and then you apply the moisturizer, and you are supposed to let it sit for 2 minutes, and then you rinse that out as well. So the next treatment item is the silicone hair treatment mix, and I applied that to the wig, like really saturated it, make sure that all the strands were coated, and I let this sit probably for a couple of hours actually. And I just put it in a plastic bag, and I went on some errands, did what I did, whatever, just let it sit. I needed it to like bounce back, okay? I needed it to be springy, full of life, flowing in the wind. Fabulous. That's how I needed it to be. So it sat for a long time, and then I rinsed it out. So after I rinsed, I actually did a deep condition, and I let that sit for probably about 20 minutes, and I rinsed that out as well. And then I came back, I put the wig on my mannequin head, and I got this wig from someone. I bought it from them, and it was already customized, but I went in a little bit more. I'm really not the best at plucking. Yeah, it's something that I need to work on, but it was some areas that I felt like could use a little bit more plucking. I actually am not fond of how much lace is left, but I kind of just left it alone and I finessed it with makeup. But I did want to pluck some, so that's what I'm doing here. But if anyone really just knows any good plucking videos, can you please let me know? Because I want to learn how to, finesse a wig myself. Help me.
Beige is on the beat.
So whenever I, do hair color, blow drying is my favorite part because you really get to see the dimensions of the color, like how the color actually looks. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm just going through and blow drying the hair so I can really just see what the color is looking like.
Beige is on the beat.
So I flat ironed off camera, but we're going to turn her to the back so you can see what sis is giving. So this is how the color is looking. Sis has low lights, sis has highlights, sis is multi-dimensional. Okay, sis is showing you what she's working with, but also you do kind of see in some areas, like I was talking about, that line of demarcation, and it may not be that bad. I can see it. I don't know if you can see it, but we're just not gonna worry about it. Okay. So going into the front, I'm a middle part type of girl, and it's just good to have, even if you have a middle part, having those left and right sides frame your face. And to do that, it would be best to go in with a razor comb, but I could not find mine, so I am, doing what I do with this eyebrow razor. Don't talk about me, because look, you gotta use what you can use, what you got on hand. I have been to the store about 3 times. I couldn't go anymore, so I'm using what I have. Okay. So I didn't record me applying the wig because I put it on a different day. But if you are interested in seeing that, just let me know in the comments and I can definitely make a video for that.
Beige is on the beat.
I'm really happy with how this turned out because this was my first time doing highlights, and I was really just kind of scared that the wig was going to be like matted after I like dyed it. So I'm really happy that this turned out like this. Like, I can run my fingers through it and it's nothing like what I thought it was gonna be, and like I'm just so happy because it's so pretty. Yeah, so if I can do it, you can do it. Anybody can do it. Put your mind to it. You can do it, boo. Get your wig, sis. Yourself. You don't have to spend the coin, okay? Do it for free. Well, no. It's really not for free. Dyeing your hair is expensive, but you can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. And I'm really happy that I did it. Thank you all so much for watching. Please be sure to click the notification bell to be notified every single time that I post a new video. Thank you all so much for your continued support. See you in the next one.